The plan is to paint this along with the body, so it's going to be matching that H87, I think is the paint code, Serrano red. So all this needs to be sanded down, and I need to get the shifting cables out of the way. I'm sure I can leave the brake lines here because you can kind of just push them down a little bit. But this harness right here, I'm going to have to pull it through. I thought I could probably do without and just wrapping it around up top, but I'm just going to do it the right way. So one thing that I want to start on are these tabs right here, these metal brackets. This is where the original battery would sit. I'm moving the battery to the rear of the vehicle, so I need to clean these cuts up with my flat disc. Pretty clean. That'll be pretty smooth when we put some paint on it. Now to move on to cleaning this all up and getting out the shifter cable and this harness. This is the harness that came out and these shifting cables. I might replace the shifting cables because I remember the shifting was kind of sloppy, so I'd rather just replace everything. This is the full back of the engine bay, ready to be sanded. There's a whole bunch of rust in this area because of the master cylinder, and the main reservoir was leaking for a while. Here are those cuts. Cleaned up. Now I just have to clean up this cut right here. So I finally just finished. I think the camera ran out of space, so I replaced the card, and here we are. This is what it looks like now, and I will say I think it looks a lot better than it did before. This is what our paint looks like. I'm going to hit this with the heat gun, try to get it to dry up a little bit faster, and then I'll be sanding it down. wheels on this thing. These wheels are not very good condition. They are out of tread. That is very, very low tread, and this is this rubber is kind of cracking up and breaking. So I want this thing to have a dual exhaust. I think that looks pretty rad on these vehicles. So I'm probably gonna have to replace this whole back section with maybe like a stock kit or something like that. Replace the whole pipe going forward. Okay, so now that I've finally gone to inspect the Firebird, I can now order some parts, which will be fun. This thing will be, I kind of want to venture into drifting maybe with this vehicle. So maybe we'll see that in the future. But for now, I have to fix a lot of problems. I'm going to go ahead and throw the rear wheel back on, take it off this jack stand, and replace this door hinge. This door hinge has a whole bunch of play in it. The door doesn't line up correctly, so you have to kind of lift it up and close it. Alright, wiring done. Door should be able to come off now. Oh, okay. That's not too heavy. I gotta find a place to prop this up against. So these are the door hinges. This is the upper hinge and the lower. I'll need to get a spring compressor for this. Then I will be able to disassemble this. This right here is a spring compressor. I got it from Amazon the other day. This is how I'm going to go ahead and compress the spring in this door hinge. So make sure it's on there. And no battery. Alright. Okay, so you see how it compresses here? Instead of just keeping this in here, this is kind of just scary to me. A compressed spring in my work area. It's kind of scary. So I'm going to take that out. Cool. And then later on we can just go ahead and clamp it and we can just compress it again. So I already got these bushings out, these original bushings, and repainted all the hinges. The hinges look pretty sweet. They're just nice and black, flat black. I painted the coil spring glossy black because I thought it would look kind of cool. So these bushings are kind of pressed in here, sort of like this, in this direction, and there's a lip on it, and what you want to do is actually sand down that lip and then get a driver, something like this. This is what I was using. This is actually an impact screwdriver, so it's meant to be hit, and it has some good weight to it, so you can get some force behind this. I don't know if it's good for this application, but that's how I'm using it. And then I use just a 1/4 extension to hit it out. They should be relatively easy to hit out. You could probably use a small bolt of sorts, maybe something like this. I don't know. These are actually going to go like this. Alright, so we finally have one door hinge assembly rebuilt. As you can see, it all goes together nicely. So now we have to put together this one. This one's a little bit more complicated just because we have the spring that we had to put on. But it shouldn't be a problem, hopefully. Alright, so now we'll get our spring compressor out.